I keep telling you people, this is not a joke. ICE has begun roaming Spanish neighborhoods, Spanish businesses. And right now, there's a bunch of businesses, they have closed their doors. And it's going to get worse. Check this out.
This looks straight out of an apocalyptic movie. Mercado Latino has never looked like this. A ghost town. Completely empty, even through lunch rush. The heart of the Hispanic community, Mercado Latino, also received a visit from a Border Patrol unit.
As you can see, it's completely lonely. Nobody's here.
Flores said around 30% of the businesses closed on Wednesday, and when he asked Border Patrol agents why they were there in the first place.
Well, his answer, it was very dumb answer. He said, oh, we're looking for Walmart.
Yeah, right.
This chevron saw a significant drop in business a day after it was raided by Border Patrol agents.
Today, business was horrible. No field workers at all, maybe like around.
About it, as I mentioned to the Prime Minister, the rest of the premiers, we need to be ready. We need to be ready to fight. This fight is coming 100% on January the 20th or January 21st. We don't know what extent this fight's going to go to, but we need to line up everything that we're going to tariff and make sure that the tariff, the money that's coming from these tariffs, don't go into a federal bank account sitting there somewhere. It needs to be immediately distributed right across the province equally, and we'll be able to support the companies, the factories, the workers for any issues that they're facing at the time. So it's a good start.
Did he give you any details of where those retaliatory tariffs would be aimed on American goods?
No, Chrystia Freeland's going to put a list together. We're going to put our list together, and I'm sure the other provinces will as well. But we will go to the full extent, depending how far this goes. We will go to the extent of cutting off their energy, going down to Michigan, going down to New York State, and over to Wisconsin. I don't want this to happen, but my number one job is to protect Ontarians and Canadians as a whole, since we're the largest province.
So I talked to the owner of this house right here in Pasadena. I talked to the owner. The owner does not have a smart meter on this house, on the front part of his house. There's no smart meter, no smart meter. So the house did not burn. The back house is the part of the house that had the smart meter, and everything in the back of his house is burnt. No smart meter, smart meter. No smart meter, nothing. Nothing's burned. Well, the trees, but the house state is perfectly fine. But the back house is completely gone, and that's the one with the smart meter.
A black Finnish rap artist has come out with a song that's kind of had the internet on fire for the past few days. In this song, he essentially says that while he respects this country, he does not respect the people that are leading it, nor is he willing to risk his life defending a country that doesn't even want him here. As a creator myself with a bit of a platform who's actually grown up in Finland, I feel obligated to speak out on this topic. We have people in power in government that are, at best, Nazi sympathizers, if not actually worse. We have a Minister of Finance who said that she fantasizes about shooting foreign people in public places. We have a Minister of Economic Affairs who referred to people from the Middle East as monkeys. We have a Speaker of Parliament who was convicted for hate speech because his writings about immigrants and people of color were so bad. That's just to name a few. There's a lot more. And we have a Prime Minister that's committed to rug sweeping and pretending that these problems don't exist in his cabinet. So now that you're up to date, let me tell you about my experiences living as a black woman in Finland. According to a 2023 report, Finland is the worst EU country to live in as a black person when it comes to racism. Personally, I cannot even begin to count the times where I've been outside, on my way to school, on my way home, minding my business, and experienced racial harassment. Most recent one of my experiences being just under a year ago when I was downtown in the city center of the capital city. I was on public transportation that was packed to the brim in broad daylight, and someone began to heckle at me, yell at me, and call me the N-word in front of all these people. None of the passengers stood up for me. Nobody told him to stop. I just had to remove myself from the situation and get off the tram that I was on and walk the rest of the way because I could not feel safe sitting on that tram any longer. Just in the past few weeks, I've had friends and family members being heckled like that in public, again with slurs being yelled their way. I even have close loved ones who were physically assaulted on public transportation, again with slurs being yelled at them, who were physically hit on public transportation while everyone else looked away. That's life, being black, being a person of color in the happiest country in the world.
Hey, make this go viral, y'all, because I'm on some real shit right now, just thinking. If y'all want the murder rate to go down, why y'all on this make a state for straight hitters and let us just kill each other? Let us just go dumb, you hear me? And if the other ones kill outside of the state lines, the government get to kill them or kill y'all. Like, if the ones won't bang for the rest of our life, let us get a part of the world where we just could bang it. Like, this is our life. Like, you can't get mad because we bang. We tired of going to jail for banging. This is something we love to do. Well, what I love to do, I love to bang and I'm back on that type of stuff. Like, ain't just too much police involved right now, man. Like, if niggas think something today, then it's a important person from that side is, man, it's about a nigga who did it going to the feds. If ain't no late nights, you feel me? And that's facts, man.
So I want to say something. They say a man's role is to provide, but they never mention the cost. They say real man handles what? The endless bills, the pressure to never fail, the expectation to keep giving even when there's nothing left. Every time he closes his eyes, it's not peace he feels, it's calculation. How do I make this work? How do I make sure everyone's okay? But who's asking if he's okay? They will celebrate his success but stay silent on the sacrifices. They will cheer for his strength but never acknowledge his exhaustion. The truth? A man carries the burden quietly, but that doesn't mean it's not breaking him. A man isn't a machine. The least you can do is provide him with respect, understanding, and a place to rest. Even the strongest pillars fall when the weight is too much. Marriage never sets.
The Justice Department has issued a new report on the Tulsa Race Massacre. The 123-page report documents the findings made during a review and evaluation of the massacre conducted under the Emmett Till Unsolved Civil Rights Crimes Act. The Tulsa Race Massacre stands out as a civil rights crime, unique in its magnitude, barbarity, racist hostility, and its utter annihilation of a thriving black community. In 1921, white Tulsans murdered hundreds of residents of Greenwood, burned their homes and churches, looted their belongings, and locked the survivors in internment camps. Until this day, the Justice Department has not spoken publicly about the race massacre or officially accounted for the horrific events that transpired in Tulsa. This report breaks that silence through a rigorous examination and a full accounting of one of the darkest episodes of our nation's past. The report lays bare new information and shows that the massacre was the result not of uncontrolled mob violence, but of a coordinated military-style attack on Greenwood. Now, more than 100 years later, there is no living perpetrator for the Justice Department to prosecute. But the historical reckoning for the massacre continues. This report reflects our commitment to the pursuit of justice and truth, even in the face of insurmountable obstacles. We issue this report in recognition of the courageous survivors who continue to share their testimonies, in acknowledgement of those who tragically lost their lives, and with appreciation for other affected individuals and advocates who collectively push us to never forget this tragic chapter of American history.
The craziest part about this whole situation, out of all of the videos that are directly in front of you, is the last one. And I made sure to put that video there. Because again, I know that a lot of people aren't going to make it to the tail end of the video, so it is what it is. To those who do, much love and appreciation. But this is the history that they don't want talked about or shown. This is why I've stated that it is very important for those in the Black community to make sure to go out and buy books that talk about the history and what it is that Black Americans have had to face, had to go through, had to endure in order to make it to this point. And even still, we're going through a lot of things. But that history there is something that needs to be given and passed down to each one of your kids, to each one of your generations, so that they don't forget. Because the moment in time that you do forget, you're going to repeat and see the exact same actions because you were ignorant of the past or you refused to learn from the past. On the PDF that's related directly to the clip, one of the main things that was stated was what I wrote on the side of the video. And specifically, it was stated that, hey, when everything was going on, you had all of these riots, you had the burning down of the towns and the cities and the homes and the businesses and the churches. And I want to have people remember, all of these people that are burning down these Black towns and cities, harming these Black folks, they're Christians. So they're religious folks. And the police there decided that they wanted to deputize a lot of these drunken men so that they can have the amount of force that they needed in order to further cause more damage. And that's what they did. And the other interesting fact is they stated in the PDF that when it deals with the editorial, you cannot find the name of said individual who posted or written or printed that editorial. Magically, it was scrubbed. They said that maybe it was due to time itself or due to the fact of it being reprinted so many times and yada, 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 or because of the seriousness of the situation that they decided to make sure to cut out whoever name is originally attached directly to it. Because it's pretty interesting that such important history and such a very important occurrence, somebody doesn't want to take credit for that. Somebody whose family is around at this moment in time and they know exactly what it is that they started and that they did. They don't want to take credit for it. And these are the same ones that say that racism and all of these things don't exist in the United States. And the only way that they can keep up that false narrative, the only way that they can keep trying to push forward and act, oh, the past is the past. That's so long ago. All those people are completely gone. Not the families, though. Remember, they'll keep telling you that those people no longer exist. But what about the families? What about when those people did exist? What did they carry and teach their kids? What did they pass down? Nobody wants to talk about that. They want to make it seem like, oh, those people are far gone. They no longer exist. We're brand new people now. We think differently. All these other types of things. But they don't. They just shifted. They just covered up or masqueraded their ideas into other types of things. It made it seem as though that everything is all equal. Everything is opportunity for all and all of these other types of great things. Again, it's a facade. It's a sleight of hand. And that also means that a lot of the old thinking was passed down to the grandchildren who are alive at this moment in time as full adults raising young kids in this generation. And they're slowly but surely passing down that same information to those kids. And they're making sure that, hey, we have these beliefs, we see the world this way, but when you go out and you leave this house, you make sure to put on a whole different face. You don't want people to actually know and understand what it is that you're really about up until you get into a certain position. And that's what they do. That's how they carry out these. This is how they get their corporations, how they get their businesses, how they get their bank loans, how they get their homes, how they become entrepreneurs, because they still practice and believe in the same things that they've always believed in. But again, America does not want this type of history to be shown, because the more it's shown, the quicker people will wisen up to all of the things and all of the games that they've played for oh so long. This is why a lot of the history is being re-envisioned. This is why certain things are being omitted. This is why certain true historical facts that were even being written by their own people are being omitted or being overlooked or being pushed directly under the rug in order to put a more friendly and nice narrative, as if to say that, oh, it was just a skirmish. It wasn't really what people thought it was. A few people did get hurt, but overwhelmingly something happened. Maybe some lightning struck and a fire hit the town. And they'll make up any other type of narrative to make sure that they are not the focal point of anything negative. Now, if we wanted to reverse it, and let's say that the people of Tulsa and all these other black towns and cities, they needed some type of help and money and whatnot. Oh, they'll make sure to be like, hey, we had a white family here from such and such. They decided to donate or lend a helping hand in a certain type of way. They will make sure to highlight themselves, make themselves to be the focal point, make sure to show that they are just the reason that everybody believes in Christ and in the goodness and the greatness in society and the world. They will make sure to be that fixture, the center of the universe. But again, this is America. This is how that happens to work. One person has to be the overwhelming good, and the other person has to be the overwhelming evil. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about this video and everything that I stated in the comment description below. And as always, peace, love, and stay tuned for the next video.